What if the single greatest act of love wasn't about moving fast, but about having the courage to stand completely still? On its surface, holding back seems like a cold, calculated strategy. To suggest meeting again in a fortnight instead of tomorrow. To let several encounters pass before even a simple touch. To operate from the core belief that we cannot truly know who has entered our life for a considerable time, and so to hold off on introductions to our inner circle, to avoid falling into a constant rhythm of messaging, and to not speak of love until the world itself has changed seasons. This discipline can appear joyless and restrictive. Weren't we freed from the old rules of etiquette? Wasn't the whole point to follow our hearts without a map? But a measured pace isn't necessarily about fear or outdated customs. It can be the logical conclusion after you truly grasp the complex psychology behind affection. Despite what we proclaim, love is far from the only thing we crave. As magnificent as it seems from afar, it's something that can frighten us just as deeply as it enchants us. An impulse we are as likely to run from as to run towards. Is it any wonder we approach with care? To stand completely exposed before another person, to hope they see our true self and still choose to stay, is to invite a profound and unique form of devastation. If a broken heart has the power to shatter us, and it truly can, then it's only rational that our first steps are small and considered. The bravest love is often the slowest to bloom. For some, a difficult past adds a more intense shade of dread. You might have been raised in a chaotic home where the central lesson about affection was its scarcity and unpredictable nature. In those formative years, you adapted to a wildly inconsistent flow of warmth. Perhaps a parent was distant, another was harsh. Maybe there was constant criticism and little space for your fears or your voice. The only path to survival was to retreat, to find solace in solitude, and to accept a life with limited emotional nourishment. So, when someone appears in your adult life offering a feast, when they present course after course of understanding and support, when they promise boundless softness and care, your initial reaction may not be happiness, but a deep-seated alarm. You might find yourself incapable of processing the rich sustenance being offered. Without fully understanding why, just to keep your balance, you may feel forced to attack the very person offering kindness, labeling them as foolish or desperate, and then fleeing the scene. The unspoken plea becomes, "Please be strong enough to not be overly generous. Grant me the space to find my own way to give back. Let me move at my own pace." On the flip side, we who are the givers, the ones who prefer a rapid tempo, must also find the bravery to inspect our own motives. It can look like pure romance, grand gestures early on, intimate pet names within days. But underneath our bold exterior might lurk something more complex and sorrowful, a deep, unhelpful anxiety. We spiral if a text goes unanswered for an hour. We cannot endure not knowing their feelings before the main course arrives. We give excessively, not always from a place of abundance, but because we lack a fundamental confidence in our own worthiness of being loved. We are sprinting to keep ahead of a deep-seated self-loathing. We move at a frantic speed because our childhoods taught us that love could vanish in an instant, that nothing is permanent, that we are not enough, and that the only way to stop loss is to make enormous efforts, to lose our identity in grand displays of commitment, and to pressure our partner for a yes before either person understands who the other truly is. Mature love, in contrast, resides in a deceptively simple middle ground, positioned between a terrified rush and an equally terrified retreat. Its defining features are assurance, tranquility, and a solid sense of self. Its very soul is patience. The secure lover possesses the inner resources to think, I am drawn to them, but they are still a mystery. I desire their presence, but I would endure if they left. I feel attraction, yet I feel no pressure to act immediately. There is time. True intimacy is built in the quiet space between moments. This sounds wise, but it's usually not a conscious choice. It's the automatic inheritance of a stable, nurturing upbringing. For those of us who missed that foundational gift, and there is none greater, we can still deliberately work to temper our own fears and our own excesses. Our approach to love can slowly become infused with a sense of calm, serenity, and a deep kindness toward ourselves. We can grow more assured that we will find a partner, here or elsewhere, because we recognize our own value. We can withstand a no. We can allow for delays and genuine discovery. We can take all the time we require, paying close and constant attention to our own comfort levels, sidestepping any shame around our uncertainty by voicing our reservations with honesty. So that one day, when it finally feels authentically right, we can take a considered risk and reach for their hand, secure in the knowledge that we are strong enough to handle whatever comes next. And if you're finding value in understanding these deeper currents of the heart, please support this channel. A like helps Wines of Thought reach others seeking clarity.